Welcome to 1 year ceramic coating. Week 12, 12th wash, garage therapy 1 foam and a rinseless. So I'm just showing the bottles, and then what I'm going to show is the liquid, and also I'm going to show how I get 31 milliliters, which is 387 to 1. And I'm doing 30 ml of soap with a litre of water for the foam. Very similar to Yum, except there is more water in the rinseless, but slightly. Also, it has the same problem coming off. So here's me just going through putting the foam on, and as you can see by proxy, plenty of foam going on, no issue there. I think as on most, you see Black Rhino is slightly rejecting it over some time, which is not a problem, as I say, and DIY Detail is going and doing that too. Just putting some rinseless on the top and the front and the back, just as a rinse down part for that. When I finish that, I'm actually going to come back and just start washing down. Now, bearing in mind this is 395 to 1, so I've got 384 to 1 is the request. 31 milliliters of product to 12 litres of water in my foam sprayer, which is 387 to 1. And as it comes to washing off this time compared to Yum's at 350, this is a little bit more. Does that help it? It's not as foamy washing off the foam itself, which to me is a good thing. It means it's more usable to me. I think it comes off cleaner, but there again, car hasn't been too far in very many places. So once I've kind of washed down the main side of the car, I'm just gonna spray a bit of water on the top and the back and etc. Then I'm gonna come back round. With the water, basically I have 10 milliliters of rinseless and 4 liters of water, and I have the tri-fiber wash mitt. I'm doing this bit in slower motion just so you can see. Then back on to 3-speed, and I'm going to then carry on and wash the car, just showing you that, giving it a quick rinse up. A quick squeeze, and then wiping the car down. Then I'm going to flip it over just to finish the bottom off. Not really too much material on it in terms of dirt, so I'm going to wash the back and the give it a quick squeeze out and some liquid in and another squeeze out, just to have a look to see how it looks. With my drying cloth, what I do is my microfiber knock off most of the water. So I just go over the car first with that. It's not a completely dry, it's slightly dampened, and so it will wring out and it will leave some liquid on still. But after I've done my wipe down, I then come out with the DIY Rinseless Diva. I think that's what it was called when it came out. It's a couple of years old now. Not the newest one, but does the job still working. Once everything is dried off, I'm then going to come along and I'm going to use the water from what I did last time. And I think if you take a look, you can see that the car's been affected, especially on the Rhino, but the DIY detail and the Rhino have been affected. And the main thing that has occurred is, and you can see that it's not rejecting it as fast as it did. The main thing that has occurred is 3 days of a plus of 100 Fahrenheit, which to me shouldn't have affected it. It didn't do a lot of travel. You can see down where I put a dual layer that there isn't actually too much sticking, but as I go across, it is now sticking a little with the water, and Rhino is sticking a lot more. So the damage is done in terms of really hot weather, and just going to spray a bit more Rinseless on to wipe off. What I want to do is check it again just to make sure that I haven't missed anything. And I go across again, and you can see once again that that's not good. I can see his trail behind, and then I come in close just to have a look where I put dual amount on, where I see it doesn't stick as much as the rest. Whereas on the Rhino, it is slightly better on the Rhino in that area that had 2 coats. So in terms of the coating itself, after 12 weeks, they have had a hit, and it's really a UV hit because it hasn't been more than 50 miles since the last wash, which surprises me more than anything else. So I just have to dry it, which I've just done, and then I'm going to spin it round and take it to the other side. Okay, once set up, I'm then going to spray on again, and as you can see, it sprays on nicely. I don't have a problem with that. I like the way it sprays on, actually. I think it goes on very well. Just going to put a bit on the bonnet of what I got left, of course. It's the only reason I'm doing it. And as you can see after time, that the garage therapy itself is sagging down on both the pan and the superior products, but that's really not an issue. So next I'm going to get out the Rinseless again and wash it off. And once again, I can tell by going by the seals that the garage therapy Rinseless washes off better. Now, it is also supposed to be a surfactant-based Rinseless, but obviously I can't recall if it was a dual or not, but I can tell you that it's not quite as foamy at the ratio they have it, which in this case is better. It actually does wash out what you can see there, which to me is a good thing, because I don't want to leave the foam behind when I'm wiping, because I could then leave anything else that's there on. Once everything is sufficiently washed off on the side, I'm just going to wash the bonnet off, etc. Just get the material off there, the foam off there, I should say. So once again, try 5 a minute, come over and start wiping. I can say that as I start wiping the windows and everything, it does indeed look okay. Is the car really dirty? No, it's not. It hasn't been very far, as I say. You can see that it wets out, so I'm just going to do the top and some of the back just to make sure. And I'm just going to wipe across the bonnet quickly too. I want to do that. Once that's complete, I then come out my pre-drying cloth, and I have the Diva as well, where I've been over and just drying back over it. I think it looks drier now anyway, so I'm just drying off the sides, ready for the water test. And I believe when we come to the water test, we will see something very similar to what we see before. Now, I had to refilm the water test because it didn't take. I came back out and redid the water test on the side. We're going to see pans first, and as you see when it goes by, it seems to have taken a fairly big hit, and they do show hydrophobics. But once again, as you see, the superior products definitely looks like the water's sticking on it more, way more. Pans, the water is sticking on it, so the 100-degree heat over 3 days, 105 in New Jersey, means that that's hit it very, very hard to the point that everything is affected. DIY detail is probably currently the best of the three. I'd say DIY detail, then Pan, then Black Rhino, then Superior Products. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And is the test over, or should I do DIY detail or Rinseless next week? Thank you. Goodbye.